Can you feel that beat? Boney M, a disco band formed in Germany in 1976, whose music spanned Latin, soul, and disco. The original lineup comprised of Liz Mitchell, Marcia Barrett, Maizie Williams, and Bobby Farrell, and they achieved massive success during the disco era with international hits including Daddy Cool, Rasputin, and Rivers of Babylon. And one of Boney M's hits, Rasputin, recently made a comeback in the younger generations on the popular app TikTok, proving that their sound will never go out of style for good. I'm Nostalgic Nick with Do You Remember, and today we're getting funky with it and taking a look back at the original group of Boney M, peeking behind the curtain at the most pivotal times in their career, and finding out what they're up to today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on a future deep dive, and smash that thumbs up icon to share the love. Alright, let's get jiggy with it. Liz Mitchell, a Jamaican-British singer. She is best known as one of the original members of Boney M, following her time performing in the musical Hair as Donna Summer's replacement. She joined the Les Humphries Singers and represented Germany at the Eurovision Song Contest. Shortly after, in 1976, a phone call persuaded Mitchell to join what we now know as Boney M, the brainchild of record producer Frank Farrell. The group's initial purpose was actually just a lip sync for TV, but they soon became a legitimate group, and Mitchell was regarded as their lead vocalist. Farrell later went on to say, quote, "All members of Boney M could be replaced except Liz. Tell us how you really feel, Frankie." Mitchell's voice was arguably the most distinctive sound of Boney M until the group disbanded in 1986, which was kind of a false alarm. While they did split up shortly after their 10th anniversary as a group, Bobby Farrell and Maizie Williams convinced Mitchell to regroup for a tour in '87, just a year later. A subsequent recording contract was arranged for the group, but things didn't go as planned. You see, they were supposed to get a replacement for singer Marcia Barrett. But when both Farrell and the replacement singer failed to show, Mitchell and Williams had to recruit singer Selena Duncan and dancer Kurt D. Duran. Another kicker on top, Maizie Williams had never sung on Boney M's recordings, so Mitchell had to record the entire album by herself.
One could say I am Boney M because I did sing basically all the songs that were hits for Boney M. Yes.
At the same time, record producer Simon Napier Bell produced a remix of Boney M's greatest hits and needed the original group back together to promote it. Liz Mitchell agreed, and the original Boney M appeared back together to promote the new remix, even though Mitchell's new group still had gigs to play. However, the remix album was incredibly successful. Since then, she's released a number of albums such as Share the World in 1999 and Let It Be in 2004. Today, Liz is 69 years old and is still impressively touring, billed as Boney M featuring Liz Mitchell. You go, Liz. Marcia Barrett. Marcia Barrett was born in British Jamaica, then moved to England in 1963. By the late 60s, she had moved to Germany, where we continue with our Boney M grouping.
It's a country that's changing all the people, cause the people are leaving.
By 1971, she was signed to Metronome Records, which produced her first record, Could Be Love. And by the mid-70s, she joined Boney M, and while Mitchell was considered the lead vocalist, Barrett contributed beautiful harmonies and also sang the lead with Mitchell on some of their hits. Marcia attempted a solo project, but gave that up after releasing a failed single, You, in the late 80s. Barrett continued to produce and perform with various members of Boney M, and it was after Liz Mitchell's departure that Farrell announced he would not be doing any more recordings. So the group took things into their own hands. They flew to France to record Everybody Wants to Dance Like Josephine Baker, collaborating with producer Barry Blue. And Barrett did both the lead vocals and backing vocals. Farrell withdrew the single and was angry the group was still using the name Boney M. It was after a 1990 court case that the group officially went their separate ways and no longer recorded music under that name. Marcia Barrett was never involved in any future Boney M projects or recordings. Since Boney M, Barrett has gone through quite a bit of health troubles. While recording rock tracks in Munich, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She then had a recurrence of the disease, which rendered her unable to work for a time. But luckily today, she is 73 years old, and thankfully has not dealt with cancer since 2009. She lives in Berlin, and published her biography, Forward: My Life with and Without Boney M. So be sure to check that out if you're a fan. Maizie Williams. Maizie is a British model, dancer, and singer, and although she is one of the original members of Boney M, she did not sing on any of the albums, just performed live. The real kicker was Maizie was apparently told she couldn't sing and had a terrible voice by none other than her own brother. In 1975, she and one of her friends were approached by an agent and asked if they were interested in joining a group called Boney M, but that it was not incredibly important that they could sing. I guess it was her perfect gig. The real job was just properly lip syncing. Well, they ended up joining the group with two other members that only went by the names Natalie and Mike. Over the next few months, they had live TV performances and a discotheque tour. Natalie left the group to then be replaced by Claudia Berry, and Mike left as well, being replaced by Marcia, Barrett, and Bobby Farrell. Thus, the original Boney M was born. Maizie did get some time to shine in the group's renditions of the hits Brown Girl in the Ring, Hooray Hooray It's a Holla Holiday, and Daddy Cool.
Daddy, Daddy cool, talking about Daddy, Daddy cool.
And speaking of Williams' vocals, there was a bit of controversy. It stated on Maizie's official website that although she was present in the studio, her less dominant voice appeared to have been mostly excluded. So she took him to court and filed a court case against Frank Farian and Sony concerning her rights to perform under the name Boney M. By 2009, Williams had judgment in the case, and Farian had to pay her on all record sales and future sales. Today, Maizie Williams is 70 years old and is also still touring. She released her first solo record in December of 2006 and has released her own dance version of the Boney M hit Sunny. Isn't that sunny? Bobby Farrell. Bobby Farrell was an Aruban dancer and singer, best known as the only male member of Boney M. Farrell was working as a DJ in Germany until Frank Farian spotted him. However, Farian later revealed that Farrell made no vocal contributions to any of the songs, and that apparently Farian himself recorded the male parts in the studio.
She was the meanest cat. She really mowed it down. She had no heart at all.
It was only after his own personal clashes with Farian that Bobby Farrell left the group, but he rejoined in 1984 until the band disbanded. Bobby Farrell's daughter Zanilla Farrell later went on to argue, saying that Farian caused so much turmoil over her father, depriving him of his rights, which affected him and his family financially, causing him to lose all of his income after the group split. Regardless of this, after the band split, he continued touring as Bobby Farrell's Boney M, performing the group's hits. In his later years, he seemed to focus most on family. In the 2000s, Bobby faced a lot of health problems and sadly passed away December 30th, 2010. He was just 61 years old. His body was found by hotel staff in a hotel in St. Petersburg, Russia. The cause of death was deemed heart failure. Boney M may have gone away, but their beats will never die. It's always interesting to see what went on behind closed doors, the legal issues, and who kept performing after the disbanding. So let's talk. What was your favorite Boney M song? And I'm not gonna lie, since Rasputin's comeback, it's been stuck in my head again. Let us know your favorite song and any Boney M memories in the comments below. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you don't mind. It really helps a lot. But from all of us here at Do You Remember, we want to thank you for watching.